What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take. Vicky, how you doing?
Over here cooking some bacon. Woo,
Okay, yeah, yeah, she's cooking this morning. Yeah, uh, so yeah, but y'all know what y'all here for. We are here for WandaVision episode 6. Thoughts and discussion, spoiler field, of course. So y'all already should know that going in. And this week is the aforementioned Halloween episode. But there's one small problem that I noticed. We gonna skip the 90s and go straight to the 2000s. Malcolm in the Middle is
right? It
where
was
they went
Malcolm
to.
in the Middle.
Yeah, so they skipped the 90s and went straight to 2000. Okay. Okay, all right. Because I was expecting a TGIF show, at least Home Improvement or something, before they go to the 2000s. But yeah, they went straight from Malcolm in the Middle, complete with their own rip of the Malcolm in the Middle theme. So hey, congratulations.
Hmm
um,
And
we,
the breaking the third wall type stuff. I was
yeah,
like, oh,
because
okay.
they just pretty much had I think it's Billy because he's the one that's supposed to be Wiccan, just basically doing the Malcolm part of it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to talk about this Quicksilver situation. I don't think Quicksilver's who people think he is. That's clearly not her brother. That's
No.
clearly not. It's clearly not the Fox's X-Men version of Quicksilver. So I think he's either a representation of the big bad or somebody is coming for the big. That's He's either the big bad in disguise or an avatar for the big bad.
Because he started asking, like, well, tell me, how did you do it? Like, he was
Yeah.
asking way too many questions.
Yeah. And the whole thing about, well, you called out to me. No, she didn't. So I was sitting there like, okay, she didn't call out to you. Matter of fact, she doesn't even know why you showed up. She clearly didn't have
Yeah, you
any,
were not part of the storyline.
yeah, that she knew of. And the other thing that I found really odd and interesting was the fact that she says she doesn't remember how it started, which I'm like, hmm, like wait a minute, you don't remember? Okay, interesting. Now the inside the sitcom world, basically, well, we know Vision because I thought it was going to do something about like have a further discussion about the fight they had at the end of episode 5. They kind of didn't, but Vision now completely does not trust her
Yeah, he's
at
aware
all.
that something is going on. Something's broken. Something happened. What is going
Yeah,
on?
and he's straight up. He's doing that thing that most men unfortunately do. He started lying. So, uh, but yeah, he started lying because he needs to investigate, and he knows that she's not gonna let him do it.
Nope.
So he goes to the edge of town, finds Agnes, and Agnes talking about, well, she can't go anywhere. She got lost. I'm like, how you get lost in a place you grew up in?
Yep.
And then so he disconnects her from the hub reality, and she's like, well, am I dead? She's like, why would you say that? He's like, because you're dead. I'm like, okay, how many people know about Vision being dead?
Well, I guess maybe he'll kind of broadcast it with all, you know.
At this point, clearly it's not a government secret. All right, clearly
No.
it's not a government secret at this point. So and people have been theorizing that the Agnes character is actually one of the sorceresses in Marvel. I don't know if that's true or not, because if it is, okay, because I don't know that character. That character was around before I started reading, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if if she is or is not. I can't say either way. But it's very interesting that there are parts of the town where you can see people crying because they're just basically doing the same thing, like the lady with the clothesline.
Yeah.
That was creepy. And this is all at the edge of town. So
Yeah, it's
the
like her power isn't as strong in terms of controlling people near the edge.
yeah, so they're just stuck
Yeah.
and
Which
they
is,
can't do anything.
but like they're like physically okay. Like they don't need to eat.
Yeah.
If they're not moving, you know what I'm saying? Like they're still there. So, but like their cells are fine.
Yeah.
I guess that's asking too many questions and getting too deep.
Well, I'm guessing it's kind of like mental torture. What's going on? Because number one, yes, Scarlet Witch in the comics does have low level telekinetic and telepathic power. She is nowhere near a telepath like Xavier or Jean Grey or Emma Frost, so she can't do it perfectly. Like if it was one of them doing it, these people would be they wouldn't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
and Vision wouldn't even be able to disconnect them. So that's the difference between her and somebody like Xavier and Jean Grey and Emma Frost of the telepaths of the Marvel universe. So it's interesting in the way that they present it because now we know that Wanda is not as powerful as like, and I've been saying this. I'm like, she's strong, but she ain't that strong where she can control perfectly an entire town. And now we see that she's really not. not perfectly. So somebody has to be giving her a power boost in some way. Now outside the bubble, everybody's favorite character, Hayward acting the fool again.
Acting like a white privileged male.
I'm like, Jesus, dude.
I'm
like
come on, we do not, like I said last episode, we do not need this trope in our life. Like, come on.
There's a difference between him being a hard ass and him being a straight up
stupid.
Yeah. Because at this point, it's like, okay, he's trying to play the role of like okay, I don't want to. Well, yeah, because that's what it's kind of like. He's kind of playing the role of like that super racist. Like he hates superheroes to the point where it doesn't make any sense. And even the heroes that say that are helping people, he don't care. He like if you're a superpower individual, period, screw you. And I don't care about collateral damage. That's what he's on. And it's like, okay, bro. First of all, these are American citizens. The person you're trying to go at is way too powerful for what you're trying to do. You can't do anything about that. So your best bet is trying to talk to her and not antagonize her. But you keep wanting to antagonize her, which to me makes me think that you are unfit you're unfit to lead because you're making bad decisions, which it all came to a head because Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy figured out that something else is going on, and Hayward's been a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were about to, Monica and Jimmy leave to go and meet her contact, and Darcy decides to stay behind because she was trying to get to the file so she can find out exactly what it is that he's doing. And that's when Vision makes it to the edge of the barrier and tries to come out. And when he comes out, he starts dying because he's dead. So in an effort of got to protect my family, Wanda just stops everything and expands the barrier out so much so that it's kind of ridiculous because she swallows up the entire sword station that's there, including Darcy, because Darcy is handcuffed to a Hummer, and she can't get off. And so now everybody's in there except for Jimmy and Monica, who have already left. So everybody's stuck in there now. So I'm trying to figure out what character Darcy's going to be playing because that's pretty much how it ends.
Yep.
At this point. So overall, I thought it was a decent episode. I think we're getting to the point now where we should start seeing who the villains are. Honestly, because I think it's villains plural. Because there's something going on with Hayward. Like it's almost as if they did that with Vision's body on purpose because they knew she was going to come to get it. So it's almost like, okay, I need an excuse, and now I got one. So I'm really, it's really picking up and getting very interesting, and I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, they definitely don't care about Scarlet Witch. They just want Vision back. They don't. Yeah. They're like, you can keep the town, because obviously he doesn't care about the actual people and what's going on with them, because he hasn't even tried to like work to, extract people from the barrier. Like it's not even like a thing for him.
Yeah.
It's all
He don't
about
care.
getting Vision back. And
Yeah,
he
he
said
doesn't.
like the assets close to the barrier, blah blah. Like that's all they care about.
Yeah. So, and plus they put something in him to track him,
Yep.
which I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, but which is weird to me, because like if he was in a whole bunch of beasts in your lab, why would you put a tracker in him?
Yeah. So is I don't know what the plan is. Maybe and who knows? Maybe they're trying to recreate so they can make a bunch of them. Which will, if they do that, that's going to be so stupid. But it'll actually be an interesting way to bring in the Sentinels, since they're bringing in mutants a little later on. If that's the way, if this is how they start doing that would actually kind of make sense. If that's what they're using, like him as the Vision as the template for that.
The blueprint, yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's what would make sense, but then that's not Sword, because Sword doesn't do that. So I'm guessing there's going to be something that happens that
there's always a faction within the faction that be doing their own things.
They be doing their own thing. So I'm thinking that's where they're going with this. I'm thinking because that's the only thing at this point that makes sense. Because once again, Hayward is doing stuff that you're like, okay, hold on, man. These like American people, and you send a drone in there with missiles pointed at Wanda's head, and you think that she's not gonna get mad.
Nope, don't care.
I'm like, bro, that doesn't make any sense. And then, like you said last week, he's just doing it. It's like he's trying to provoke her for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But then you ran like a little child when she started expanding that barrier.
Yeah, well,
I was hightailing it.
Like you keep poking the hornet's nest, and then now the hornet done came out. What you expect?
Yeah, like why are you running now? Don't run now. You talking tough 5 minutes ago. Don't run. Literally 5 minutes ago you were talking tough. Don't run now. Because like that to me is like a very interesting and a very telling thing. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I think it's Mephisto. And if you don't know who Mephisto is, in Marvel, he is Marvel's version of the devil. So I think the bad is Mephisto, and I think that's who Quicksilver is supposed to be. Because the stuff he was doing, like he straight up says, "I'm here to cause problems in your relationship, spoil your kids," and like what? Like, why would you even say that? And it was just little stuff that he was saying throughout the episode that was just like, okay, dude, that's okay. That's kind of weird, but okay. And that's when I'm like, okay, you got to be either Mephisto or Dormammu or somebody. I'm going with Mephisto personally, but that's just me. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was great. Looking forward, 'cause I think we got 3 more episodes left, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this wraps up. And if any other Avengers show up to help out. So, Vicky, what about you?
What? I'm sorry.
Overall,
I think it was a good episode. It was a solid episode. We're continuously moving forward, which is good because again, those first 2 episodes was I'm like, y'all wasted our time those first 2 episodes. But at least now we have like solid movement every episode. We saw the kids with their powers. So, like, we're very much invested to see how this goes. In terms of the villain, I'm along for the ride. I don't know enough about, the comics I've read, I only focused on those comics. I didn't even look for the other ones because I did not care. I'm like, if it wasn't my people's that I wanted to read, I didn't even, like, I don't care. Versus, like, my older brother who read everything.
He absorbed it all.
Yeah, he absorbed it all. So that's good for him. For me, I was like, nah, I'm going to stick over here with my little Ghost Rider, and then I'm going to read my little Goosebumps books, and then that's all I did. Gotcha. And Fear Street or whatever. So I look forward to it, so we'll see. We shall see. How many more episodes do we got?
3, because this was episode 6 and it's 9 episodes. So three more.
We got 3 more episodes.
And I don't know where they're going next because, like I said, they skipped the 90s and jumped straight to the 2000s. I stopped watching sitcoms in around 2005 because they got to the point where they weren't funny anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do for 2010. Maybe they'll do like reality. I don't know. Maybe they'll
Oh
do like
gosh, Jersey
Real World
Shore.
or something. Yes, Jersey Shore or Real World or something like that. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking they're gonna do because I don't know where else you go as far as sitcom wise. I really don't know where else you go, especially if you skip the whole decade.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Because then
But
what family sitcom
yeah,
shows are there after? Like there really isn't.
I mean, unless they're gonna do one of the black ones, and they hadn't done one of those yet, and no,
You know, it's like they're like we are not gonna get canceled, so we don't
yeah,
want to touch that.
we're
So
not
I
gonna
don't
touch
know.
Good Times
Yeah, so
or the
like are they
Jeffersons.
just
So
going to do reality shows now or
I mean, that makes sense because we're the last three episodes, and I remember there was a preview, there's a promo where you see Wanda talking to the camera like a reality show. So I'm guessing that's what the next episode is. It's gonna be like the last two episodes when they do go to the sitcom. It's gonna be reality, so we can actually get to the part where they're supposed to fight for their town or whatever. Because
yeah,
I'm
which makes
thinking,
that would be the easiest thing to do because if you flip it to a reality show now you can you know
have them address.
and it's scripted reality. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
you can actually have the characters address the camera,
Uh-huh.
which is going to be interesting to say the least. But yeah, yeah, I'm completely invested, completely invested. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see what happens. Let's talk about it in the comments. What do you guys think? Who do you think the big bad is? Do you have any thoughts on that? And do you think another Avenger will show up in the last episode or the second to the last episode to try to help out?
Too.
Leave a
It
comment.
totally will.
Yeah, I'm thinking somebody has to show up.
And plus who did Monica call?
I'm thinking it's Reed Richards, but I don't think because they keep saying an astrophysicist, and I'm like, there's only one that I know of, and that's Reed that can do what she needs done.
Mm-hmm.
Is Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and I haven't heard that they cast Mr. Fantastic yet, so I don't know. I don't know. I've heard rumors that they're talking to people because they're gonna sprinkle them in, just like they're talking to certain people for the X-Men. Because like rumor has it, Storm instead of showing up in Black Panther now is supposed to show up in Thor: Love and Thunder, and
Okay.
somebody else is supposed to show up in Black Panther, and then another mutant is supposed to show up in Spider-Man. That's what I'm hearing. What the rumors are anyway. So I don't know because I think because of Chadwick passing, they kind of had to change a couple of things
Yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're doing what they're doing. So I don't know if they've actually got those characters cast yet, and they may have. They just haven't told anybody because look, when Disney says keep stuff close to the vest, people usually don't say nothing.
Nope.
I got to give them credit for that. They don't say the only one who talks is like Tom Holland, and he didn't got in so much trouble that he don't even talk no more.
Nope.
So
They're like, you are never allowed to do an interview by yourself ever again.
yeah, like
We
they will
will
send
have
you
somebody next to you the entire time.
Yeah, and now to Tom Holland's defense, one of them he was like, "Look, they gave me 4 different scripts. I just told them what was on the script I had because I thought mine was fake, and it wasn't." So I'm like, y'all can't blame him for that now. But yeah, I get why they do what they do because they want to keep as many surprises as they can. So yeah, I don't know, but the only person that makes sense is Reed Richards, and I don't know if they've cast him or not. And it might just be a surprise if they have him show up. But somebody is going to show up to help out
Yeah.
because once
And
again,
then
as much as I love Wanda, she is not as strong to be able to control all of that by herself. Just being honest. So they're
and
going to need
then
some help.
to pivot a little bit, when you talk about the change in casting on the Mandalorian, since we're
Oh yeah. I don't know how to feel about it,
go ahead and
honestly.
say what happened for people who might not know.
So Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune, has been fired from The Mandalorian for her social media posts. Now, the problem with that is, while I understand why they did it, they have execs at Lucasfilm who have did way worse and had it pointed at fans. So it's kind of hypocritical for them to fire one of their actresses who people love across the board. And yeah, you had some people that didn't like it because of what she said, but there were a lot of people who liked her character, and her character to me was integral to the story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those situations where I find I understand from the corporation side point of view, because you kind of have to keep your you know
You can't have
your house.
anybody hurting the brand.
Yeah, you can't have them hurting the brand, but at the same time, you can't have your execs doing it either. And if you gonna get rid of her, why is your execs who actually go out and antagonize fans allowed to stay? So it's kind of hypocritical to say the least.
But you don't know what. It might be easier to fire her, what's in her contract, versus firing them.
Yeah.
So it's all about what's in that contract. If that contract tells you you're supposed to act a certain way, and if you're bringing negativity to the brand, that might be in her contract. That might not be in the exec's contract. So you got to fire them a different way. You got to get the board, blah, blah, blah.
You got to get the board involved in all of that. Yeah.
It's a little bit harder. But versus her, you do something that's ridiculous, it's easy to fire her. Like, oh, look, you broke our, whatever,
Now, does that mean I agree with what she said? No, that doesn't mean I agree with what she said. My problem is she does have freedom of speech, and
you have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom from consequences.
That's true. But like I said, the problem is the hypocritical nature of it, because
no, you can't pay attention to the hypocritical nature.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to. Well, you don't have to, but the problem that I have with it, because I see both sides as being wrong, and I think they really was just trying to find a way to get rid of her at that point. And it'd be like I told Rob. Me and Rob talked about it on Twitter, and I don't know how to feel about it. But I mean, I think Disney needs to have a talk with their house. And if that's
here's the real question: who should replace her?
Well, I don't think they're gonna replace her.
Why not?
Because they didn't went on to ask, because the show she was gonna get, they already asked it. The show that they was gonna, the spinoff they was gonna do for Cara Dune, they already asked it, from what reports have said.
Oh well,
so I don't think they're gonna recast it, because if they do, they'll probably wind up pissing off a whole subsection of the fans. So they're like, look, we're just not even gonna worry about it, because there's a lot. The thing about Star Wars is it is so big and so grand that they can pretty much pick. They have to pick and choose of what character they want to pull in. To be honest,
there's so much.
So if you need another strong female character, okay, we got this one that we can use. We ain't got to use Cara Dune. We can use this other one. Because people been saying they want Mara Jade in it. They want I forgot what the Twilight girl that becomes a Sith. I forgot her name. They want her in it. They want something with Asajj Ventress. I'm like, there's so many women in characters, period, in Star Wars lore, from the expanded universe, even in the stuff that's not expanded, that you could just pull and they can actually really work as a series. So I
don't understand why people are messing up their check.
Yeah, I don't either.
Sit down, shut up.
Well, that's the problem with social media. Social media is like it is the greatest blessing and the greatest curse.
Yep.
It is. It depends on how you, and in the words of our great thespian Tyrion Lannister, you got to know how to play the game.
Yep. Exactly. It's all about playing the game. Now you can feel however you want to feel and talk behind closed doors with close friends, but don't mess up your check.
Don't put it on social media. And if I'm a company at this point, I'm like, look, I'm gonna have a social media policy. Like, look, y'all can get on social media if you want to, but y'all can't. It's a fireable offense if you mess with the brand.
It probably is. That's probably in the contract.
Yeah. So especially like if you're Marvel or DC or Star Wars or Star Trek,
a family-friendly focused brand.
Where I got billions of fans across the world, not just the U.S. across the world. I can't have you messing up my money.
I can't have people canceling us.
So, like, we ain't
Gotta
finna
go.
get canceled. Now, if I got to get rid of you, bye, because we can pull somebody else in, and
Because
and
the greatest example is that whole Dave Chappelle thing.
yeah,
People, everybody banded together to cancel watching because they ain't give them no check. Now look at
and
that. They're
yeah, they
like,
changed
well,
that mess quick.
all right, here you go, Dave Chappelle. Okay, now people can watch. So like,
Yeah, I'm like,
the
God
power
dang.
of the people. That's
Yeah,
what it is. So.
and let's be clear about one thing here. Netflix has money to ignore people.
Mm-hmm.
They do, but if it was going to take a chunk, because I think they was looking at like a 50% drop. I think it was when they did
Yep.
the forecast. They're like, oh hell no, nah. Because one thing a corporation is, they all about their greed. I mean money.
Yeah.
So that's what, and that's if you are a fan of Carano, I can understand why you're upset. If you don't like Carano and you're happy about this, I wouldn't be too happy, because what's going to happen when somebody you like says something that you don't like? You
Yeah.
can't. Some of y'all really need to like check your ego with this,
Mm-hmm.
with getting mad about something, because everybody not going to agree with you, and that's just the truth. That's the unfortunateness and loveliness of life. We're not all the same. It's okay to have disagreements and differences of opinion. It's okay to have that. That's what we have discussion for. But I think it's one of those situations where I can see both sides of it. I see the hypocrisy. I also see why they had to get rid of her. Because, like I said, if I'm running Disney, oh, she would have been gone. I would have called her in for after the first tweet went out. I think it was like early last year about the whole COVID's a hoax. I would have called her in. If she would have still been acting up, I'm like, you gone. I don't have time for this. I just was straight like, you're gone. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Get your last check. Like I said, I understand both sides, because once again, if you're looking at it strictly from a social media point of view, Lucasfilm really can't say much, because they have one of their execs, because one of a prominent YouTuber that covers Star Wars was so happy when he saw Luke at the end of Mandalorian, and a lot of people were crying during that sequence. That's one of their first heroes. He started making fun of him off top on Twitter and on Facebook, and Lucasfilm said nothing. So I was like, this is a guy who is an exec at Lucasfilm making fun of the fan base.
Wow.
So I mean, it's not like I said, I understand, but it's kind of hypocritical if you sit up and say, okay, Jenny, you can't have your opinions, but this guy can go right at fans, like right at them, and make fun of them crying because their hero is being done with respect on screen. I understand both sides. Is all I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but hey, if you wanna, what's that old saying? Play stupid games, get dumb prizes.
Yep. There you go.
She wanted to play that game, so hey, that's one of those. That's one of the emails where they wish you well in your future endeavors. So, I
Be
mean,
blessed.
be blessed. I mean, like I was telling people, I like her as an actress, because I feel like she's a very strong actress, especially when it comes to like action type roles. I
Yeah.
like her. I haven't seen her in anything like ultra dramatic or something like that, because I don't think that works for her. But I have seen her in some pretty good action movies, and I think she's an okay actress. She knows her lane as far as acting is concerned. She knows what she's good at. I should say, not her lane. She knows what she's good at. But you got those. You want to hang on conspiracy theories and do all that? Hey, okay. You played the game and you played wrong. So there's that. Now on the Disney side of things, you're gonna get some backlash because of uh the whole situation. Like, I've seen it already with people saying this is hypocritical. This is hypocrisy. You let this guy say it, and he's an exec. He should be held to a higher standard than she does. They have a point in saying that, because once again, he went at a fan. A fan base is your money. That's how
Yep.
you got popular. So you can't have an exec go at a fan because a certain sect of the executive branch of Lucasfilm don't like Luke Skywalker. That's a personal issue. That's
How
nothing
you
with
gonna
you.
wait? I always say how you gonna not like Luke Skywalker.
Because the perceived problem is that these people at Lucasfilm that don't like Luke, they're driven by agenda, and they feel like Luke is the how is it put to me? They feel like Luke is the old guard. Nobody should really. They just be focused on the new and not, him. That's why they did him like they did him in the sequel trilogy, which I thought was wrong because that I'm like the character doesn't act like that. Why y'all having him portrayed like that? But they did it because they wanted to. They're over Lucasfilm now, and that's how they wrote it. And a lot of people didn't like that. So when Favreau and Filoni put him in, they did it with respect to the original trilogy and how people saw him, and that's where this divide is coming in because you have people at Lucasfilm that doesn't like that. They want the force is female, and you're gonna like all this stuff that we doing, and you shouldn't like the George Lucas stuff, and it's just they button
Man,
heads. So
everybody getting a check. Sit down and be quiet.
thank
Like
you.
we gotta put them in. Put them in.
Yeah,
Like
thank you.
why y'all being like now? Y'all just that's all ego. Y'all being real stupid.
Vicky, me and you on the same page. We about getting the check. We about getting the money.
Like who we gotta put in? All right.
We about securing the bag. We ain't about pushing agendas. And these people are
as long as the person ain't problematic.
Yeah. And my thing is, I don't think people would be mad if you don't come out and try to belittle the characters that came before. The problem is there's a lot of people who are in the fan base that now have children and some of them even grandchildren, and they're introducing them to their heroes. When you treat them without respect, that's when people get upset and angry. And you try to force characters that aren't even written very well, to be completely honest, aren't written very well on them. And they're like, this character sucked. So but it's because they haven't done anything to write them well. One of my main complaints about that sequel trilogy is that Finn and Rey are not written very well. They're just not. If you read books and like film and stuff like that, you can tell they're not written very well. They're just not. Especially Finn. Because the only thing I can think about Finn was they're like, ooh, we got a black actor. Let's put him in so we can get the black folks in to come. And like black folks are gonna come anyway. We like Star Wars. You ain't have to do that. We like Star Wars, to be honest. Yep. And they were like, oh, we can get him, but then they made it look like he was going to be a Jedi or some kind of big. So he was going to be a big cog in the new trilogy. And then after Force Awakens, you pretty much made him a simp that runs behind after Rey, who clearly put him in the friend zone. And all he does is yell Rey for 2 movies.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there like, what the heck?
Is this what we doing?
Yeah, and so that's what I think people like me got angry with, because they showed Luke as being somebody that was completely out of character in Last Jedi, and then it to me they didn't have a good enough story to begin with, and they tried to course correct. The course correct didn't work. Then when Favreau and Filoni get Mandalorian started with season 1 and people were loving it, then they do season 2, and they did in season 2 every episode got better and better and better, and then they introduced a young Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy, and people just you had a whole section of fans that loved that, and they melted, and that's why they were so emotional. And to have one of your execs basically make fun of that is not a good look on any side. And then the apology he put out was a BS apology. It's like somebody like a publicist wrote it. Everybody can tell when your apology is not sincere.
Oh yeah.
Everybody can tell, because everybody can tell when you have a written apology from a PR team. Everybody can tell. Like if. And this goes to any corporation. If y'all ever mess up, don't have your PR team write the apology. You have them write it. The person who messed up write it.
Yep, sit down. We'll
And
clean
you
it
write
up. We'll make it sound prettier than what you wrote, but
you're gonna
that
write it.
initial, it needs to be from you.
Yeah. And if you
will
don't
make
want
it sound better.
And if you don't want to write it, you're fired.
Yeah, you can go.
So
Be blessed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I understand why it had to happen, but there's too many people at fault as well to just try to pin all the blame on her. Just because you don't like what she said and felt like she was attacked. Because, yeah, she said a lot of stupid stuff. Honestly, yeah, it was dumb. But the fact of the matter is, she even had an apology that was way more sincere that people just ignored just because they didn't like what she said the first time. So I'm like, hold on. She apologized and told you and did a nice little post about it. Y'all completely ignored that one because you just, at that point, I don't blame her for sticking up for herself and saying, the hell with you then. Like, I apologize and you don't accept it, and I'm coming from the heart and you still want to be mad at me. Okay, then fine. I'll just, because you're not going to bully me. At this point, you're not, now it's bullying at this point. And she just wasn't going to have it. So you have that section of people who got mad and they're happy that she's gone. But I'm like, what are you going to do when somebody you like says something that you don't like or does something that you don't agree with? What you going to do then? You can't cancel everybody. That's why I hate cancel culture. Cancel culture makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. You say one thing I don't like and I'm going to cancel you. Come on. Come on. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not going to stop me from watching Mandalorian, though, or Book of Boba Fett, or Rangers, or the Ahsoka Tano show. I'm not stopping watching any of that because they're TV shows. People need to separate the person from the character they're playing, and that's another thing that people need to do that they're not doing. They're treating their character like they're the real, like, no, they're an actor or an actress. They're playing a role. You can separate the two, because a lot of people, if you took a look at a lot of your favorite celebrities' lifestyles, you will probably find out that you have little to nothing in common. Because they are people, and people have their own ideas, their own thoughts, their own opinions of things. And if you ever actually went and looked, that's why I don't celebrity worship. Because you don't know what these people like. These people might be crazy. You don't know what people
like.
They're
crazy.
Yeah, some of these people, you don't know what they like in real life, and y'all be falling all in love with them. And I'm like, yeah, okay, nah, I'd rather meet somebody I know personally. I'm like, yeah, they're a good actor. Like, I like Denzel Washington. I don't know him personally. I think he's a great actor, but I don't know him personally. I like Viola Davis. I don't know her personally. I like Daisy Ridley. I don't know her personally. I like John Boyega. I don't know him personally. I can separate that. They're a good actor. I do not know them personally. They may be completely different from what I think. Like, their thoughts may be completely out there, and I'd be like, you know what? We're just gonna have to pray for you, and So I don't know them though, and that's where the respect part to me comes in. Like, need to be respectful of all people. So respect their opinions. If you don't agree with it, be like, okay, cool. I don't agree with that, but hey, more power to you, player. And but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Sorry, I went a little long-winded. Sorry for the long-winded nature of it, but yeah.
No, it's good. Yeah. So I guess we should wrap it up here.
Yep. You got anything you want to pimp out? Twitch channel?
As always, check out my Twitch, Fangirl Review. I stream on Mondays and any other time, but mainly Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. And I like to crochet on my stream. So come by and hang out.
Yep. Link will be in the description below, so please check that out. I don't forget to check out the Winging It podcast Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to start back live streaming. I ran into some issues last week, but I think I figured it out. I just need to do a little bit more research on a couple things to see why YouTube hates me sometimes. And don't forget to check out the Geek Life Gaming channel. I will be having a Let's Talk First Impressions of Yeast 9 Monstrum Nox going up pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that because there's going to be a lot of games dropping in the next couple months, and I'm getting at least 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them because they're already pre-ordered. So yeah, I'm at least getting 3 of them. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that, and we'll see you guys on our next fresh take because we got 3 more episodes of this one to go, and we're going to be right on to Falcon and Winter Soldier after that. So 3 more episodes of this, and then we're on to Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Bye.